Listen, as soon as one window ends, it's like another begins. And from INEOS's point of view, you hope that they're sitting down and going, right then, this is the squad that we've got now. What does it look like next summer? Now, the MEN and some good outlets have actually published multiple reports that are detailing what United's alleged top targets are going to be for the 2025 transfer window. Now, Dan Ashworth did say that the plan is there and that INEOS want to stick to the plan. So maybe these reports are at least somewhat based in some reality. Now let's have a look at what they're saying. Now, the MEN went with the Eze plan. United are watching the Palace attacker Eze and have identified him as a possible summer addition next year. He's been added to a shortlist for the summer of 2025 with a release clause of 70 million set to be active. Only last week, Steve Parish revealed his surprise that a little attempt was made to sign him in the past window. Now, if you have a look at the article, the MEN, if they're to be believed, Eze would probably be a pretty good signing for United. He offers something entirely different, and he looks ace every single time that we play against him for Crystal Palace. We don't actually have that many players that are capable of consistently beating their man, even when they were doing it previously. Eze brings that. He's also pretty devastating on set pieces, freakishly good at dribbling. He's a proper Premier League baller. He probably slots into 90% of Premier League teams. His quality is there for the world to see. He's genuinely undeniable. He scored one league goal already this season, but absolutely should have had more. I just like him. And I think he's had some goals wrongly disallowed, or at least debatably disallowed. He can play in the 10. He can play on the left. He can play on the right. That attacking versatility could have a similar sort of effect to what Doku has done for City, but also what you're kind of getting with Mazraoui in defence. And I think we are trying to build a versatile team that's got many different options and he's unpredictable. And for me, Eze brings unpredictability, not just with what he does with the ball at his feet, but also when you see him on a team sheet, you still don't actually know where he's going to line up. And I love that about having a player that can do that. Right, listen up everyone, we've all got our own bad habits, right? Whether it's biting your nails, spending too much time on your phone, or, the other one. It's tough to break free. But what if I told you there was a new healthy way to handle certain cravings? Introducing Fume. Now, that's the sponsor of today's video, and it's a leader in the flavoured air category. And it's a revolutionary flavoured air device. It smells like chewing gum, right? It smells awesome, to be fair. It's a revolutionary flavoured air device that is designed to be the perfect alternative and an enjoyable way to fill that void in a natural, guilt-free way, giving you something to reach for without any of the downsides. Now, it's an award-winning flavoured air device, and it's actually really cool looking, and it's quite satisfying to use. It's really well made, it's quite weighty, it's got a high quality design, and it looks cool. It's not addictive, there's no nicotine, no batteries, no toxic flavours, and it's a pretty good way to replace a bad habit with a good one. Now, you can get all sorts of different flavours. There's cinnamon hearts, there's black licorice, there's going to be something for everyone. This is spearmint, and it's pretty popular because it's refreshing, gives a nice clean sensation without none of the guilt. It draws flavour into your mouth, not your lungs. It's total guilt-free alternative if you're trying to ditch a bad habit. There's no vapor, you can use it anywhere, and it's going to help with things like anxiety. There's all sorts of magnets, snaps and clicks, and all you got to do is sort of spin it around and adjust how much airflow comes in. If you've got a bit of a habit that you're trying to kick, then this is a bit of a game changer. If you're looking to replace a bad habit with something new and something that's guilt-free, then there's over 300,000 people have had a bit of a success story with trying it, and there's a limited time only. If you use the code Stephen Howson, that's STEPHENHOWSON, then you're going to get a free Fume base when you order your journey pack. So head over to tryfume.com. That's tryfum.com. Use the code Stephen Howson or scan the QR code on the screen to get your free Fume base right now. Next one that we've got is United pinpoint the left back options, and this is the MEN again. It's also in Give Me Sport. And it says United have pinpointed 3 left-back options ahead of the January transfer window. And I like these, actually. I think there's some pretty good players in this. And it claims that Anthony Robinson, Milos Kerkez of Bournemouth, and Bradley Locko have made their way onto United's radar. Now, a lot of United fans expected the club to bring in a left back during the summer, and the ongoing injury concerns with Malacia and Luke Shaw probably fanned the flames for that in a big way. Robinson was one that a lot of people were like, get me him. And he feels like a Fergie signing, doesn't he? Someone that's done really well at a smaller club within the league. You go get him and you add them to what is ultimately a title-winning squad. That was Fergie's almost tried and tested formula. Now, it's been reported that United have been looking at trying to bring in some left-back cover, made that not just a top priority for the next summer, but also the January transfer window. Now, let's look at the article. It says that 3 options are being looked at. Now, I think all 3 of those would be excellent options at United. Kirkes and Robinson, proven in England. Loco, a little bit more of a risk, but received a hell of a lot of praise for his work at Brest. Kirkes is only 20. Likely attract a bit of a higher fee being in England with Bournemouth, but the potential's pretty intriguing and probably worth a look at. Robinson, I think he's the one to consider out of those. Like I said, it feels like a Sir Alex Ferguson signing. He's done very, very well for Fulham. He's in the mould, I think, of what we're looking for. Isn't quite as young as the other options, but he is a ready-made solution. Shaw and Malacia are unreliable. Picking up a left-back that can do what Dalot does on the right is exactly what we need. Then we've got United's midfield shortlist revealed, and this is in 90th minutes and also in some Spanish media as well. Now, United's shortlist supposedly includes Adam Wharton and Hayden Hackney of Middlesbrough as 2 top targets in midfield. If we look at the analysis of what the article's actually saying, it says 2 names are definitely on our shortlist. Wharton is an exciting prospect, he's quality, and another good season at Palace, and his price tag's probably going to shoot for the moon, probably sell for big money. Now, at 20, he has become one of Crystal Palace's most crucial players. He is dynamic, he is box-to-box, and I think he's got a lot of attributes that would see him succeed in a United midfield. Why that helmet of a reporter decided to just make this like a Mainu versus Wharton kind of thing. We saw a lot of United fans just absolutely trashing Wharton because of the link with Mainu. He's a different player to Mainu, but he is a good player. It's just some helmet of a journalist who decided to put them head to head, so you had to kind of pick a side. That's not the case. And I think they'd probably play very well together, whether that's for club or for country. How he fits in would be a different question with what you've just gone and put on Ugarte and what that means for United's midfield going forward. But if we are trying to build a big, versatile squad, I'd absolutely get him in. I'd absolutely get him in, and I could see him being a very, very good player for United. Now, all in all, United's alleged 2025 targets should spark a little bit of hope and maybe even a little bit of recognition in the sort of thing that INEOS are trying to do. Now, whether those articles are reliably sourced or not, the names mentioned probably will be on or very close to a list. I don't think they're wild guesses. I think they're quite safe guesses. The names that are quoted are good players playing at good levels for good clubs. If we can pick up 1 or 2 of those, United would improve. No doubt about it whatsoever. So I'd be very interested in seeing how that comes about, what that would lead to. And obviously then we've got to figure out what's going to be leaving the club, because there's going to be players leaving the club, both in January and next summer. I'm sure of it. But it'd be very interesting to see how the summer of 2025 shapes up. INEOS literally arrived here just before the summer window. Didn't really have time to get concrete plans in place. It'd be interesting to see how they decide to approach next summer's window, having had a full year in situ, having worked with that coaching staff, having seen that squad up close behind the scenes, and worked out exactly what is required. I think it'd be an exciting window for United. Let me know your thoughts, and let me know your thoughts on those players as well. I'll see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.